Now, I just wanted to share with you guys a recent event. This happened in Cartagena, Colombia. Now, I've had my few experiences with death, or close to death, and lived in Brazil, lived in Colombia, lived in the Dominican Republic, a lot of these places, and some of these places you got to have your wits about you. And there's a saying in Colombia, no dar papaya, which is don't give papaya, don't give fruit. Basically what they're saying is, don't give opportunity to be taken advantage of. Now, I had done my research and all was good. I was staying with some other guests at an Airbnb, and we thought we'd go out for a late dinner, which we proceeded to do. And inside the four walls in Cartagena City, it's pretty safe. It's well policed, and generally speaking, the thieves, they won't take advantage of you in those areas. What you will encounter will be, street rappers, hustles, side hustles, things like that. Things that you could get scanned, but it wouldn't be overtly criminal. It'd just be more annoying if you just want to go about your day. But can be entertaining if that's what you want to do. But regardless of that, one of the rules is, don't go out alone. But also don't go out after like 9 p.m. because that's when ultimately the thieves come out. And particularly don't go out of the walled city, be walking around there. So anyway, we thought, I guess the guard dropped a little bit because you're with other travelers, right? You're with other people, you're with friends, you're joking around, you're laughing, and then your amygdala, your primal brain kind of relaxes a bit and you start chilling out. And so we were all laughing, having a great time, and then we thought, we didn't think anything of it. We get outside the four walls of the city, and then we go down. There's a street that leads on to Morle Plaza, and so we're about a 15-minute walk. That was all from our Airbnb from the city center, or the old city. As we're walking, probably just a minute, like let's say 1 minute outside the walled city, and we were probably 1 minute walk towards the police station, I start hearing these footsteps behind me. I turn around and I see these two guys. And then I realize they mean business. This isn't a joke. And so the next thing, this guy comes right up to me and then demands my bag. I was about to resist. As soon as I resist, I see him flash this gun right at me. And luckily I'd been looking at a lot of these videos of what to do in these situations, and I'd replayed this in my mind. And what they say is that they won't harm you physically if you just give up. Give them what they want, and it'll carry on. So my first instinct, of course, is to resist and fight, and I might have done that in previous years, but on this occasion I was like, you know what? It flashed before my eyes. I was like, yeah, take it. They proceed to take some other stuff. Two other motorcycles come roaring up. They both jump on and they take off. So we're a bit shaken up, and the girls with me were really shaken up. I wasn't so shaken up because, I prepared for this. I only bring out what I'm prepared to lose, and if I lose it, I've got a backup plan. Got a backup passport, I've got a backup phone, I've got backup finances, I've got backup credit cards, all that sort of stuff. About 3 layers of them, which is kind of it's important, I believe, to have when you're traveling. You got to have these backup plans in place. Anyway, I thought, what the heck, man? We're 1 minute from the police station, and the girls had their phone available, and they said, well, why don't you put your your details in here, and let's see if we can track your phone live. So, well, that's a good idea. We're able to track it. So we were literally tracing where my belongings were going live. And one of the girls had a bag of hers taken as well. And so we're able to give this information to the police, but over there, the system can be so corrupt, and a lot of the police, unless there's, not all of them, but a lot of them, unless there's external consequences for them immediately, they're not necessarily gonna, take your plight into account. And so, but the moment my bag had left me, I'd already resigned to the fact that I might not see it again, but I'm gonna follow this for the fun of it, right? So anyway, the police fob us off to another station. So we grab a taxi, go to this other station, and then by the time we arrived there, the phones moved further south of the city. So we're like, okay, the police then fob us off to another station. So now we're deep into the city, and we're 4 travelers, which some can speak all right Spanish, some can't, but regardless, we're in a neighborhood that we don't know much about, and we're with police that probably aren't used to dealing with tourists as much. So anyway, once we get there, we show the police what's going on. They say, well, we need the live location if we're going to do anything. And so they say, yeah, put your details into my phone and we'll trace it. Right? So literally, they leave for 10 minutes. About 5 minutes into, by the time they've left, we're tracking my phone as well on her app, on one of the girls' apps, and what happens is it goes cold. And the police arrive about 5 minutes later with a bag of some of her stuff and nothing of mine. And so we were like, hold on here, something really dodgy's at play. So we begin to quiz them, but as we go further, we realize, you know what, we're in a vulnerable position. If we accuse them of this, it's not going to go well. We've got no other backup in reality. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? Who cares? Just, let them have it and let's move on. So anyway, the next couple of days, I'm getting these weird, strange messages on my phone pinging going, your phone's been activated. They're asking for your password. Can you give it your password? It comes up with a message on your iCloud account. And so I was like, wow, that's a lot of nerve, to be able to do that. Not only take the phone, maybe cut a deal with the crooks, but then also to be able to imagine that I would give my passwords after they've taken my phone. So that's quite hilarious. But regardless of that, the reason I wanted to keep my phone on was just about it. If I wanted to take this higher, I'd have the information, I'd have the evidence to reveal what was going on. But in the end, I cut my losses, and I also cut my trip short. And the reason for that was my experience in Colombia this time around probably was at another level. Usually when I get there, there's some dangerous situations, and I've had many from the past. And I was with a group, we were taken hostage, we escaped, that's another story. But the reality is that usually you can account for when you're getting in trouble, and usually you have some level of faith that you're going to be protected. But at this level, you really believe that your only layer of protection is your first layer. It's your brain. It's your ability to put yourself in a safe, protected environment. And with all that being said, when you don't feel safe in an environment, you don't feel protected by the people that are supposed to be there to protect, to offer that backup layer of security, you begin to question whether it's a good idea. You begin to question, and then when you actually go through the streets, you're realizing what people are looking at, But it makes sense, right? You're a foreigner, you're carrying in your hand sometimes, some of these travelers have very flash late style iPhones, right? And that can be equivalent to 6 months worth of wages for someone. You have a big impact of the Venezuela migration. You've got the big impact of post-COVID. You've got desperation at another level. You've got poverty at another level. And you've got criminal activity at another level. and their eyes are lighting up because there's been a big economic downturn and things are a lot more desperate. And so when someone waves around 6 months worth of someone's hard work in that country, they're going to create a system of how to obtain those things with relative ease. Why slave yourself for 6 months when you could just grab it from someone's hand? And so that's how that's what's creating a bit of the environment there. So anyway, based on that, I had a little bit of mild PTSD, and so I had to really, recenter the mind. Then when I realized it was starting to affect my ability to be productive, to work, to focus, to concentrate, to get back into flow state, I was kind of thinking, the juice isn't worth the squeeze here. What I'm benefiting from this place, it is a beautiful place and I still love it, and I still may return one day, but the reality is right now the environment is such that to actually exist there, you kind of need to be on your guard 24/7. And well, maybe not 24/7, but that's how it began to feel. And at that point I'm like, is it really worth it? If I can't literally just be at peace and enjoy my everyday experience, is it worth it? So that being said, I thought, what, let me just head to a first world country, relax for a bit, recenter, and then go from there. So this is a story just to give you guys some insight that you just have to be on your guard in these places, but also more than that, have multiple backup plans available should you go there. And on top of that, have a detailed plan of how you can recover everything that you need except for the physical thing that you lose. So for instance, I was able to pretty much do that with the exception of I didn't have some photos backed up, I didn't have some iCloud. So in hindsight, I'm better to pay a bit more for the iCloud account to have more storage, and I've got full peace of mind that should anything leave me, mate, it's only a backup fund away. Purchase a new phone or get my backup phone, and everything gets downloaded on the backup phone. So those are a few lessons, but yeah, that's the story of Cartagena, Colombia. I'm now in Florida, enjoying a nice, secure environment for a time.